Hello, welcome again to the Thursday business meetup. Great to see regular faces here, some new faces as well. I see new people joining in, so welcome. I'm Kaisa Siipilehto, founder of Livia Joy, a leadership coach helping experts, knowledge workers, so to say, especially women, to have the freedom in their lives so you can work when, where, and how you want by running online income streams. This can mean your business, whether you're doing consultation, coaching, mentoring, educating people, if you're helping other ways, people in wellness or relationships or wealth. There's a lot of different areas that you can apply these strategies, advice, the tips that I'm sharing here with you. This is not only me talking. Of course, I always give you three pieces of advice, sometimes some bonuses as well. So I have some extra bonus for you today as well when you stay at the end. And please do share questions, comments in the chat. I want this to be kind of like a workshop format. So I'll give you my tips and you can work on these. Those of you who've been here before, I know we've, for example, worked on your visions, your income targets, and things like that. So if you have pen and paper with you, that's even better. So we can actually plan actions for you to take right after this call. In today's, before I go to the marketing tips, in today's email, you got a link. So there's a link to add this event in your calendar. However, that is only for today. So you can set it up as a recurring event to your calendar so that you're not going to miss. I'll send you reminders, but if you want that to be a recurring event in your calendar so that you remember to join these meetings, you can do that. Okay, today I promised to talk about marketing because I had a colleague who was kind of saying like, oh, I'm struggling with marketing. So I was like, okay, what can be my best advice related to marketing? Maybe some of you know my background, but if not, I did my 10-year corporate career in marketing before I pivoted to build my coaching business. So I'm kind of pouring my marketing tips, not only from the corporate experience that I have, but also now building my business a few years. So I would like to hear in the chat what kind of marketing related questions you might have that I can be answering you today. We'll have let's say 25 minutes left, or sometimes we go over a little bit. I want this to be like a powerful 30 minutes for you so that you can get some piece of advice that you can go and apply right away. So please do share your questions. Also would like to hear in the chat, where are you joining from? Because I know we are a very global community here, which is enriching at least my life, hopefully yours as well, because this is for you to also network with others. Okay, I hear some questions here. What type of marketing do you do to get clients? Well, we'll talk about that. My advice today is maybe more general. That said, that will be the foundation for any marketing activities that you do. How to use AI-generated marketing efforts to get clients, how to use social media to attract clients. Hey, yes, from Florida, Tarpon Springs. I haven't been there. I've been to Florida, but not there in the Keys. Okay, I'll go to my first three advice, and then we can go to your questions. And the first one, which you have probably heard in the other calls as well, if you've joined before, is vision. How boring is that? But why I do want to address that is that you want to know your why. You want to know what's your passion, what's your professional purpose or life purpose in general. What is the bigger vision, how you want to see the world in the future? And what's your part in it? If I may share an example from yesterday's coaching call, is that when my coachee was saying kind of like, oh, I feel maybe a fraud, like building this business for myself. But when we actually looked at what is the impact she wants to create, helping other women like herself to build generational wealth. And I'm not going to details to keep the confidentiality unless she wants to share, but
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, okay. If you want, do you want to share your vision and the purpose we talked about yesterday?
Okay, so I'm going to help women start Airbnb businesses to create generational wealth. When the amazing Kaisa had me dig deeper for my purpose, I told her my purpose was because in America, many minorities, especially Black women, we don't own homes, we don't have generational wealth, we may come from single parent households or broken households. I would like to help women, minority women, create generational wealth for their families, and they can, it's not just running an Airbnb, but building a legacy, right? You can pass these assets down to your children and change your family trajectory and break these cycles that are in the Black community.
Can you, Marcella, share like how did you feel after you connected your purpose to your business vision?
It felt meaningful. It felt like, oh, I'm not just, out here saying, hey, here's how to rent an Airbnb. It felt meaningful. And I also felt like there's no competition, right? I'm me. Because I think a big thing with me is like, oh, everybody else is doing it. But I also felt like I'm unique. I have my own thing. I don't need to worry about what anybody else is doing. I can also feel like I can offer somebody something. I can really connect with them on a deeper level because I know all about that. And that was powerful, that I can really help someone on different levels.
Yes, thanks for sharing. Why I want to bring this up is that in the coaching call, when you shared your vision, we got goosebumps. The other ones, we got goosebumps. We got emotional. And we are not even like maybe your ideal clients. So just imagine those women who want to do that. Like when you share what you can do and how you can help other Black women to build that wealth, generational wealth to support their families, like how will they feel when they connect with you? This is why it's so important to be clear on your vision, and how I want to start or advise you to look at it is like, what is the bigger vision for the world? I know that sounds like huge, but now that we tapped into like, oh, it's not just generating wealth for Marcella's family, but it's connected to the bigger purpose of helping other women to generate that generational wealth. It becomes a larger, like, like you're doing a meaningful work. You're doing something meaningful that you're passionate about, because people will hear this, people will sense this, from all the marketing that you do. Because if you have your heart in it, and you know, like, of course, what is the impact for you, for your life, but you can communicate the bigger purpose you're on and how to connect these two, it's very impactful. That's why I want you to start with that. And please do share in the chat, what is your vision for the world? For example, Marcela wants to help other Black women to build that wealth. For me, it's helping women experts to increase freedom in their lives so that you can work when, where, and how you want by running online income streams. What is it for you? Who do you help? How? What are they getting from it? So that's what I wanted to share as a first step, to be clear on your, and what I mean by clear on your vision is that I hear a lot of like fluffy, very generic. It's not like, it's hard to grasp, but when you go to the specifics, I'm not just helping any women, it's those knowledge workers who are knowledge workers, let's say, who want to increase, grow their business online, using the online world, for example, what it is for you. Okay. And yeah, the other point I wanted to make is that I want you to be so clear that an 8-year-old will understand what you're doing. Why I want to mention this is that I was, at the beginning, I was using maybe coaching jargon, whatever it is in your industry, that what is the jargon that you use if you use words that your ideal clients don't understand. They are not connecting with you. So be first clear on your vision, be so specific that if you like tell that to an 8-year-old, they understand what you're doing. Sometimes people say to a 6-year-old, maybe an 8-year-old is good here. So yeah, my second one is repetition. I know you've probably heard a million times, like, be consistent, be consistent. That's all what they say in a marketing, social media marketing. What I mean by repetition is that we think that people know what we do. We put one message out there and we think that people notice that, they registered that, and they are like understanding that. So when you know your vision, who you help and how, and what is the value, what is the transformation, what do they get working with you, you want to be obsessed about talking about what you're excited about. I'm so excited about like other people to enjoy the freedom life that what we've been creating with my husband the past few years now, traveling 2.5 years. I've been a nomad 4 years, at least 4 years. So I'm like enjoying it so much that, of course, it has downsides as well. Having your life in 3 suitcases, it's not the easiest life, but the plus is like how we get to explore the world, travel to different places, live in different places, getting to know different cultures, and it's so enriching that I want other people who want to travel more or move abroad to experience that. You can be, it doesn't mean that you need to live abroad. You can want to travel more or work from home. So whatever you want to do, working remotely, having that location freedom. And also time freedom. We don't like to do the 9 to 5. For me, it works like starting in the afternoon, and then I can align my schedule to US and Asia when I work from the afternoon to evening. So that works for me, and then it works for my clients where they are. So that's also the time freedom. So I'm obsessed about talking about freedom life, increasing that freedom. and also how you want to work, because that's what I hear more and more, that people want to choose like the way they work. I just connected with one who is doing executive coaching, but the companies are so much dictating how she can do the teaching. So she feels like she can't go deep enough because there's some limitations to her work. That's why she wants to expand having her private clients, for example. So yeah, repetition, be obsessed about talking about the topic that you're excited about. Because it takes at least 7 times. These are maybe all statistics. It used to take like 7 times for people to hear about you that they would purchase from you. My business coach says that now it's double. Next year it will be triple, because there's so much noise out there. If there's so much content that people are like overwhelmed. That's why you want to be very specific on your vision. What is the mission, who you help, and how, and keep talking about it. Of course, using a little different phrases probably, and you want to be talking to their language. So cutting out the jargon that you might use in your industry, but to be talking to your ideal clients using their words. For example, this is just what comes to my mind. Like, I know some experts wanting to eliminate burnout from people, but maybe they are not using the word burnout. Maybe you just want to talk to them like, do you constantly feel tired? So I know burnout is a very general like concept now, but what is it in your industry, for example? If I were to say that I do business coaching or leadership coaching, that doesn't tell a whole lot, does it? So you want to be communicating who you help and how and what do they get working with you. And repeat, rinse and repeat. Of course, here when we do the marketing and you take action, you talk about the topic in different channels, email marketing or social media channels, how you can also repurpose the content. I'm here on Zoom, but I'm live streaming on Instagram, and I will put the recording on YouTube and share it in my groups and for people in my network. That's repurposing, for example. So how you can repurpose the content in many channels or also in the future. Does this make sense? Give me some thumbs up or something, so I'll continue. Thanks. And the third one I had today for you is be honest and genuine. I know, what does that mean? And I heard some comments yesterday being like, I don't like this, like limited spaces and like how to create the urgency for people to buy from you. Like, if it doesn't feel genuine to you or honest, like, don't do that. You don't need to copy what other people are doing. Why I say this, like, yes, you want to be thinking how to create the urgency for them to start now. I'll take their Airbnb business as an example. Because like, why would you push something in the future that you can start building that wealth already today? Because it will take time to build the wealth. It doesn't mean like, I don't know, maybe Marcella has now better understanding how long it took for her to get the 2 Airbnbs as successful and up and running and being successful and generating income. But usually to build something doesn't happen overnight. So how you can help your clients to understand, like, why do they want to start now? The burnout, for example, is like, okay, take care of your well-being now, because you don't want to be like, well, I have too many friends and colleagues, unfortunately, go through burnout, and I was very nearly there myself as well. So how can you help people to either overcome, and especially if you want to help people to prevent something, prevent poverty or prevent health issues, or prevent, give me some examples, what could it be? So yeah, that's my third, is how you can be like honest and genuine, because people will sense that from you. If you feel like, oh, this doesn't sound like me, well, people will notice that. So just like, be you. I guess that's my point. Be you when you do your marketing. That said, it's good for you to, for example, go out there and look what who would be similar to what you offer, and notice like what are they doing that could be successful for them. For example, I could go and look at other business and leadership coaches who are more experienced than me, for example, and what's working for them. But I don't want to repeat what they are doing. I want to do it my way, and what works for me, what works for my lifestyle, my business, my schedules, my audience, because you all have your unique visions, purposes, and mission. So what aligns with that? So yeah, I wanted to bring that up because like it's not only the words. People, especially if you're hosting events, you're doing Facebook lives or Instagram lives, you're recording, especially in the recordings, people would sense that if you're not being you, being honest and genuine. As an example of the urgency, for example, there was a demand for me to start a new coaching group, and we started yesterday. And I was like, okay, I'm keeping it a small group that I can, bring value and coach everyone in there. And some people are like, okay, this August doesn't work for me. So then I'm like, honestly, like, I don't know when I open new spots in the future, because when I look back, I started one in November, and then I think it was May, and now in August. So I don't know when would be the next time. So then I'm like, I'm not sure. So be honest about what you offer, and what time you're available, what time is your offer available. This is what we discussed in my other coaching group yesterday, because she's building a group for a therapist, and she was like, yeah, we are kind of trying different things, but not getting like people are not really responding, because if there's no urgency, like, people can push things in the future. So what can you do to help people understand like they want to act now, not in the future? Like for me, it's like I want to see women enjoy the freedom life now, and not when they retire. I don't know if I ever get to retire. Now I think the retirement age in Finland is like 68 or something. I don't know. When I'm that old, like, can I ever retire? But yeah, I want people to enjoy the life and what they do professionally now. Do we have questions around the 3 tips that I gave you? So be clear on your vision, so specific and clear that an 80-year-old would understand what you do and who you help and how. Repetition, be like obsessed about talking about the topic. in whatever channels you use channels that you hang out, what you use, and where would your ideal clients hang out as well. If you don't like Twitter, don't go there. If you don't like Instagram, don't be there. If you don't like LinkedIn, don't be there. So what are the channels for you, and where would your ideal clients also hang out? So yeah, people don't remember after first message. Repeat at least 7 times, 14 times, 20 times. And be genuine, honest, basically be yourself in your marketing messages. I've received feedback from my emails, and I'm not using AI in my email marketing. I'm writing those myself. Yes, that might take a little bit more time for me to create those, but I've heard from my colleagues and people from my network that I love your emails. But well, it's me. I'm talking to you. It's not AI. Not to mention, of course, AI is great when you want to get a template or get a framework or something, but they are so generic that you want to edit them to use your language as well, or get some examples. But I would be you. Whatever you do, lives, posts, like just be yourself. Okay, let me answer a few questions, and please do shout out if you want to ask any questions of the three pieces of advice I had you for today. So Kay, you were asking about the AI generated marketing efforts, and like I said, it's great to use those. There's many platforms. ChatGPT is not the only one. That's what I've used a little bit, but like I said, I draft my emails myself. You can use AI for drafting blog posts, emails, social media posts, whatever, and it is good to get an idea, for example, what do they recommend. But like I said, use your words and use exactly the words that your clients are using. Like I said, not the jargon from your industry if your ideal clients are not understanding that language, but you want them to understand, but also to connect with the message you're delivering. How to use social media to attract clients? Like I said, Sari, like I would advise you to be in the channels that you like yourself, and you use yourself, and really limit to 1 or 2, a maximum 3 channels. I have too many. I'm the marketing professional here, and I'm not doing things correctly because I try to be in too many channels. If I would channel to focus on just 2, I would probably be more effective. And that's for something for me to consider what to take out. But like I said, there you can try different. This depends on who your clients are and their personality type. Do they want fast messaging and bullet points? Are they a little bit slower and they want more details? So you can try different lengths and different style of messaging, for example. I'm not sure, Marcella, was I answering your question? What type of marketing do you do to get clients? There is so many options.
Yeah, I realized that was pretty general, so don't worry about it.
I'm just gonna say that, and do anyone here who wants support with the marketing, do email me, because there are so many options, and I would advise what I advise in my program, the 12 steps for launching your online business, is that choose 3. And these can be, for example, the email marketing, social media marketing, and events. Events can be live or recorded, or the combination of those, for example. I would say that those are the things. Social media is good for you to be in front of your ideal audience, but that's not really the place to sell. I know some people do, but I would advise using social media channels to connect with your ideal clients, but then you want to bring them into your ecosystem, whether it is your email list, for example, your Facebook group. I would be careful with that as well, because I've heard my colleagues that their accounts have been canceled and blocked, because those are not the channels you own. You own your own CRM system. So I would say, like, how can you get them to join your ecosystem, to give their details? Because for example, this happened to my colleague, that his LinkedIn got blocked and he lost 5,000 plus connections. And he was about to market his summit, which he couldn't do on LinkedIn to that audience. So don't let that happen to you. So wherever you're building your audiences, try to bring them into your ecosystem, because you don't want that to happen to you. I don't want to be too scary, but yeah, just focus also on the channels that you own, if that makes sense. Or there's some other questions. Any platforms for coaches I can work from? Sorry, Joe, can you ask your question? What do you mean, like platforms for coaches that you can work from? Like, do you mean like building your courses, or what do you mean by platforms?
Yeah, hi. So I was thinking of platforms that experts can share their, they can coach people through the platforms. Like basically they have a lot of people come in and they can choose whatever different coaching they are interested in. It's something that I thought of. So that's one way. And of course, if you find value in really going into a social platform like Mighty Networks, for example, and start building your own community there, or just focus, if you're really early stage, on just doing newsletter, email marketing.
Thanks. I'll try to answer your question. I have tried a few platforms. If you mean like you can set up your profile and people can find you and work with the coaches that they find there. I haven't used them enough or consistently to get any results. There's different platforms, and what they did at first, that it was free, but then they started asking for a membership and I didn't continue. So I don't really have a lot of experience. I know there's a lot of different platforms like that for coaches, but then you want to dedicate some time to really connect with the ideal clients there. I know, for example, one platform, I think its name is Park, that you buy credits, and then per one potential client, 5 coaches can send their quote, and then they close it. So you're competing with 5 people. Those are, of course, very hot leads because they are asking for coaching. But yeah, I don't know if you would really find your ideal clients there, but that's something that you can try. But it usually takes some investment, whether it is a membership or you buy these credits. If I answered your questions, there is those platforms, but I don't have enough experience in those. Okay, do we have other questions here? Please, you can unmute and ask if I didn't answer your question, because I see a lot of comments here, and thanks for sharing where you are from. But I would also want to hear from you. How does these 3 key points, marketing tips, how you want to call them, how do you see them benefiting your marketing efforts? Is there one on top of the other that you would want to focus on first, or that you know that you need to work on first? You can put in the chat number 1, 2, or 3. 1 was vision, 2 is repetition, and 3 is the messaging to be yourself. So for me to also get an understanding like what resonated with you. I see a number 2 here. Number 2, consistency and repetition, how you can not only repurpose your content, all of them, well, there they are. Which order? I would say in that order. Or of course, the 2 and 3 are intertwined. What was I saying? I forgot. Yes, the repetition, consistency, that I know that I was thinking like, okay, yes, people know when I send one message, but yeah, you want that repetition and also consistency. Like these meetups are every Thursday at the same time. I know I changed one time because I was hosting a colleague's event, but this is for me to build my leadership, that I'm consistent with something. That's for my network to also remember like, oh, the Thursday tea, that's how I'm branding it, the Thursday tea meetup, so that people would remember. So how can you build something that people will easily remember? What is your branding? What are the things that you can do consistently, and repeat, rinse and repeat, that people can connect with you, hear about you. And of course, this is marketing, like messaging, like I said, to talk about what you're passionate about, what do you do, who you help, and how. And then we didn't even touch like offers yet. Of course, you want people to also get a chance to work with you. So when you're connecting, like how can you make an offer? Because of course we are here building businesses and creating income. So how you creating, I loved how my business coach framed it. Like for those people who are afraid to maybe make an offer, like feeling, at least for me, it was like, ooh, is this like genuine, for example, or having the fear of rejection or whatever it is. I had those. So for you, if you kind of feel like, oh, that's uncomfortable to talk about money or investment or make an offer, so think about that. That's serving your clients. If you don't offer an opportunity to work with you, what do? They struggle in their relationships, they struggle with their wealth, they struggle with their business, like what it is. Like if you're not giving them an opportunity to work with you, that's doing disservice, not only for you, but especially for your client who would need your help. So maybe we'll talk about sales next time. Who wants to talk about offers and sales? Or give me some other example of the topics, if you want. I know last week we talked about productivity. Thanks for Kay for the topic. And now it was Joe, you wanted to talk about marketing. So I don't need to figure out what to talk. But I think let's talk about sales and offers next time, because I think this would nicely flow there. So now think about what are the marketing efforts that you can do before next Thursday, so we can go to the sales and offers. What do I hear in the chat? What are you committing? What kind of marketing activities? I know with Marcella, we talked about your marketing activities yesterday. The ask is usually difficult for people. Yes, I know. When I started, I was like, I'm not good at sales. I've been doing marketing, but I'm not good at sales because I'm not like this like pushy, powerful guy who would be just like fearlessly asking for money. I was like, I'm not good at sales, but up. I framed sales differently. I say sales here, but what I want you to hear is to serve your clients. You just need to, the sales is the transaction part when they invest in you, or the offers we'll talk about next week. But really, like, if you don't give that opportunity for them to purchase your services, they are not getting what you're offering. So you're not able to help them what they want. Does this make sense? Choose maximum 2 channels to focus on, visualize around my client personas. Who is the juiciest for me? Yes, thank you for that question, because you as an entrepreneur get to choose who you want to work with. So who is that person? And the personas, the personality types. Like, I know that I often connect the best with the similar personality type, like who I am, not the super driven, like fast paced, because I know I'm a little bit slower. I'm working on that myself. But like, who resonates with you? Also, as a coach, I know that if I'm coaching someone who's opposite personality type, I can bring in more value because they would get a different perspective from me. So that's one thing to consider as well. Do you want to work with similar personality types or different? And that's just the dynamic changes, but you can have empathy and in a different way for each group, if that makes sense. Okay. I could continue forever because marketing is one of the topics I'm very passionate about, but let's wrap it up today. I think I promised something. Let me say that those of you who are interested in joining my group coaching that started yesterday, I know you're gonna miss one meeting of this month, so I'll give you a 30% discount code because we have 3 meetings in a month. So those of you, I have like 1 spot now available for August. So if you're interested in joining the group coaching program, I'll give you the details afterwards, but I first want to connect with you to see like if this group coaching would be beneficial for you. You can email me. Here's my email in the chat that I will give you the details and we can discuss if it's a fit for you. And if yes, you'll get the 30% discount code to join now in August. If you're on a runway and you want to work on your vision, messaging, how to enroll clients, create your servings and offerings, we'll touch all these topics and more in the group. So you can email me and get the discount code then when and if signing up. And I know I said 1 open spot, so I'll be responding to your email and see like who this is the best fit now. So we can start working together to build your business, grow your income, freedom. What is it that you want? What is your vision about and who you want to help? I will work on being more present on my channel and talk about what it is that I provide so people actually know. Yes, it takes time, the repetition. How often you want to be present in the channels, choosing the channels, be present, be consistent, be clear on your messaging. So yes, I want to hear how people are resonating with all of your messages. And we'll meet next week, Thursday at the same time, same link. And yes, you can go to the email to add the event and make it a recurring event every Thursday. So you're not gonna miss. How was this helpful for you today? I want to know if I'm providing value for you. Okay, I see some thumbs up. Thank you. And yes, next week I promise sales. So we'll talk about sales, offers, enrolling your clients. I'll see how I can narrow it down to 3 topics. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you latest next week. Ciao.